Welcome to U.S. Defense Line Channel. Ukrainian troops neutralized more than 300 Russian soldiers with a single move. Even in just 1 week, the Ukrainian armed forces reclaimed kilometers of territory thanks to successful operations. Since the beginning of the week, 179 regions have been liberated with an area of 4,500 square kilometers on the southern front. Russian troops are now looking for a place to escape. In the south, supremacy is completely in the hands of Ukrainian troops. Moscow has become confused as to which direction to go. Wherever the Russian soldiers advance, they suffer many losses. According to breaking news, 650 Russian soldiers were neutralized during the day. At the same time, 12 Russian armored combat vehicles were destroyed. Explosion sounds came one after another from the regions. Operations continue until there is no military equipment left for Moscow to use on the Ukrainian fronts. Also, according to noteworthy news, the Ukrainian army attacked the military barracks, where about 500 Russian soldiers are located near the Dnieprina region near Novokakhovka on the right bank of the Dnieper River. As a result of this move of the Ukrainian troops, it was reported that nearly 300 Russian soldiers were neutralized. Also, according to the statements, the Russian military barracks hit was completely destroyed. Moreover, it is stated that the Ukrainian troops carried out this accurate attack using the HIMARS missile system. It is known that these missile systems, which had a great impact on the course of the war, came from the United States of America, one of Ukraine's biggest supporters. Ukrainian army has started operations with these missile systems on many fronts. Moreover, due to the characteristics of these systems, Russian troops can neither prevent attacks nor find and destroy their positions. Due to the production of these systems, attacks carried out with these missile systems cannot be prevented. These systems, which are of key importance for Ukraine, will continue to be used successfully for many critical Russian military points as long as they are in the country. Ukrainian units continue their effective and accurate moves both on land and in the air. This time, Ukrainian planes carried out 13 airstrikes against critical points of the Russian forces. With these airstrikes, 8 points of Russian military equipment and 5 anti-aircraft missile systems were hit. Thanks to the destruction of many critical points since the beginning of the war, the offensive power of the Russian forces on the fronts has been gradually reduced. This allows Ukraine to gain serious advantages in the war. Outstanding achievements of the Ukrainian troops on the southern front continue to increase. It is stated that almost all of Mykolaiv region has passed under the control of Ukraine. Ukrainian army began to gain full dominance in Kherson. Troops begin advance towards the east of the area. Ukrainian forces, which have carried out artillery attacks in these regions many times, are causing Moscow's losses to increase. With the effective moves of the Ukrainian troops, many military equipment and ammunition are destroyed and a large number of Russian soldiers are neutralized. After the withdrawal of Russian forces from Kherson, the critical and key region in the south, the violence of the operations shifting to the eastern front is also increasing. In fact, it is expected that these operations will increase more and a clear superiority of Ukrainian soldiers will be seen on the eastern front. Russian troops, on the other hand, are starting to panic as the Ukrainian forces are getting closer and harder to even deploy. Ukrainian army does not even want to allow Russian troops to be deployed in the regions. This makes it very difficult for Russian soldiers to attempt an attack. In addition, it is now seen that Ukrainian soldiers have reached the center of the Kherson region. Now the Ukrainian flags are flying again in the center. Many areas are still being recaptured. Ukrainian troops liberated 14 regions in a short time thanks to the operations they carried out. These liberated areas are reportedly located on the Kharkiv, Luhansk and Donetsk fronts. On the Luhansk front, control of 4 regions was taken, including Makiivka and Bilohorivka. On the Donetsk front, 8 regions including Solder, Bakhmut and Pavlivka were reportedly recaptured. On the Kharkiv front, it was stated that the Masudivka and Orly-Anka regions were liberated. Many of these regions are of critical importance for both countries. Thanks to each recaptured region, it becomes easier for the Ukrainian troops to advance and deploy in the regions and carry out more accurate attacks. This makes it possible for Ukraine to gain a serious advantage on the fronts. On the Russian side, it is stated that the remedies are starting to run out until there is no further step to be taken. Russia is now starting to try its last chances at sea. After the explosions that occurred as a result of the moves of the Ukrainian troops in the Crimea in recent days, Moscow moved the ships with Kalibr cruise missiles in the Black Sea to the Mediterranean. However, when he started to lose Kherson as a result of major defeats in the operations in the south, he redeployed many of his ships in the Mediterranean to the Black Sea. Now, according to the statements, a total of 14 Russian ships are on duty. One is the launch vehicle of the Kalibr cruise missiles. Total number of missiles is stated to be 76. Russia can launch an attack on Ukraine's southern front via this missile-laden ship deployed in the Black Sea. Since its land and air operation power has decreased significantly, it seeks the solution at sea. Russia, which has not had good luck with the soldiers on the ground, is having more and more difficulty in attacking in the air due to the various air defense systems and successful defense units of the Ukrainian troops. Now, after their defeat on the southern front, it may be keeping these ships ready in case the Ukrainian troops make a move towards the Crimea. Playing the last trump card in its hands, Russia is also aware that it no longer has the luxury of making mistakes. For this, every step to be taken has become more critical. In addition, the head of the Ukrainian state, Zelensky, with his critical statements, stated that the operations to rescue the remaining regions will take a while, but there will be liberation celebrations in all of them regarding Crimea and many regions. He also expressed his gratitude to many units of the Ukrainian troops for their outstanding achievements on the fronts and their perseverance in the struggles. Outstanding achievements of the Ukrainian troops are increasing the motivation of the army. It is predicted that the success of the Ukrainian troops will increase in the future, and the success of the operations against the Russian troops will increase gradually. We can say that every move taken has become quite critical for the countries. If the Ukrainian troops can maintain this superiority and continue the success they have shown in their operations without slowing down, dominance will be achieved in many key regions, such as Kherson. Thus, the Russian soldiers in the regions will be completely removed, and Ukrainian flags will be flown in every region. Every move must now be made in line with even more strategic goals. In order not to cause more casualties, Russia should stop attacking infrastructures on the fronts. Because of these moves, he uses more military equipment and ammunition in vain. It can neither achieve a regional gain or achieve a positive result with these attacks. It only deals damage to regions and infrastructures. This situation leads to an increase in sanctions against Russia. Due to the increasing sanctions, its economy is starting to collapse, and it is difficult to reach the necessary materials for the military equipment used in the battlefield due to the sanctions. This causes these attacks carried out by Russia to do more harm to itself. Because at the same time, no matter how damaged the regions are, support is sent for these regions from many countries. Thus, restoration works are started again in the regions. In these days when the violence of the war has increased considerably, every move has a much more critical importance. Every decision made and steps taken will determine the fate of the war on behalf of the countries. We'll see what happens in the next few days. We have reached the end of another video. You can support us by liking the video. You can easily follow new videos by subscribing. I wish you all a war-free day. See you.